Now, if you've been following along with Adventure Center's Central Kitchen salad inventory analysis in scenario 2A, you will recall that we used the EPQ formula to determine that when they make salads, they should make salads 608 plates at a time. Oh, now very often when you do create a policy like that declaration, right? Make salads in batches of 608. You wind up in a situation in which you then want to do a little bit of analysis to see what the consequences of that policy are going to be, what it's actually going to look like on the ground. That's what's going on here. Now let's take a look. Consider scenario 2A. All right, that's where we figured out the policy. This was the policy, keeping the policy of 608 plates of salad at a time. How often would the staff set up and assemble salads? Oh, it's asking, now that we've decided the size of the batch, what would be essentially the cycle time of the batch? Right, because the cycle time is the length of time between when you order an item and the next time you order an item. If you're making yourself up a batch of something like we are here, salads, the cycle time has an interpretation. It is how long that batch is going to last you. Because when you run out, you'll start another batch. Anyways, and okay, fine. How often will they be setting up to? What will be the length of time between the setups? How do you calculate cycle time? It's actually a pretty simple formula. You just say, okay, fine, Q divided by D. Now, Q is what we decided for a policy, and you will recall that in the case of scenario 2A, D, the annual demand for salads at Adventure Center was 40,150. Oh, all right. Okay, well, so I take that ratio, I put it in my calculator, and I get a number, and that tells me how frequently they set up for salads. Yes, and the number reads something like that, 0.0151. That's how long 608 salads will last them. That is the amount of time that passes between when they start a batch of salads and they have to start the next batch of salads. How much time is that? What is that supposed to mean? 0.0151. Remember that the very simple formula for cycle time, Q divided by D, put those numbers in your calculator, but what you're looking at on the screen when you get a number back is in years, because D refers to a year. Oh, all right, so 0.0151 years is how much time passes between salad setups. That's a true and correct answer. It's not really very intuitive. You can convert that then to virtually any other time unit you want. Here, they had mentioned in scenario 2A that Adventure Center was open for 365 days a year. So this is the whole year times 365 would convert it to days, rounding to one decimal place. This is an alternate equivalent answer, and it's a lot more intuitive. Oh, okay. They'll be setting up for salads basically every 5.5 days. The cycle time on that policy of Q equals 608 is 5.5 days. Oh, a batch of 608 salads lasts 5.5 days. Well, these are all equivalent statements. Okay. Now, how long does it take to complete a batch of 608 salads? Oh, wait. That is not cycle time. That is runtime. The so-called runtime on the batch size. And that's also easy to calculate, because what you do is you just take the size of the batch and you divide it by the production rate, or Q divided by P. So the size of the batch is 608, and from scenario 2A we learned that they can make these at a rate of 400 a day, so that's the P. Round to one decimal place, you're basically looking at, remember P is in days, this comes back in days, 1.5 days. Oh, okay. So when they sit down to make 608 salads, that's going to take them about a day and a half. Now there's some interesting sort of derivative observations that you can gather from this. If you remember, now it's not exactly asking this here, but it's relevant. Do you remember the sawtooth diagram? Right? Inventory level. Inventory, that's what I'm trying to write. Inventory level, time. In the EPQ, we go to work making salads, so the inventory climbs. But at a certain point, we make all 608 salads, and then we coast on the surplus until we run out again, and then we'll make ourselves another batch. Oh, now this runtime is right in here. This is the 1.5 days, right in there. Because here we are working, 1.5 days must pass. Now up here we'd learned that the cycle time was 5.5 days. That's actually telling us that this sawtooth is 5.5 days long across the entire base. Because from start to finish, when we run out, the whole thing lasts 5.5 days. You say, oh, all right, but you still haven't pointed out anything that we didn't already know. Oh, okay, we're talking about salad. Interesting. How old a salad do you think you're going to get if you purchase a salad at Adventure Center? Well, it's true that the batch lasts for 5.5 days. They're only working for 1.5 days. That means the so-called, and that's why I wanted to sketch this sawtooth, this means the so-called consumption only phase, right in here, where you're coasting along, just using up, or in our case, selling off salads that are already in the refrigerated locker. Well, that would have to balance this 5.5 minus 1.5. It must be 4 days from here to here for the whole thing to add up to 5.5 days. That's telling us, if they are being attentive to their inventory management, that the oldest salad that we might potentially purchase ourselves as customers could be up to 4 days old. Okay? Now, wait. That's not, though, however, going to answer the last question, although the last question also relates to my little sketch. It says, what's the maximum number of salads that would ever be in chilled storage? In other words, if this is inventory level, right, because we're putting the salads into chilled storage, how tall is that particular sawtooth on the sawtooth diagram? Now, in the case of the EOQ, the simpler cousin of the EPQ, the issue of maximum inventory was really simple. It's just the size of the order. Because the assumption is not this situation, but the simpler EOQ, that when you order something, it's just delivered all at once. Here it's not so simple, because when we order something, it's not delivered all at once. They're spending a day and a half making the delivery, so to speak. And that entire time, customers at Adventure Center are eating away at the salads. That means that, and that's the origin of this formula, maximum inventory isn't simply Q, it's Q times P minus D divided by P. This extra part in here is taking into account the customers that are in here eating the salads even before we're done with the batch size. Oh, all right. Well, anyway, fill it out. 608 times 400 was the production rate, minus, we had learned in scenario 2A, that the customers were basically buying these at a rate of 110 per day. So there's the D, and then the whole thing's divided by 400. So that comes out to something like 440.8 salads, and that's what I wrote on your calculator. If you were reporting this to Adventure Center, that, while it's not wrong, might be a bit awkward, because there's never actually going to be 440.8 salads in the chilled storage locker. Really, and this might be a more elegant way to explain it to them, most of the time there would be a maximum of 441 salads, and that would be right when they were finished making the batch. although every so often it would be 440 is what it would peak out at. But the maximum number of salads that might ever be in the chilled storage locker is, 440, 441 salads.